Okay, welcome again. My name is Kolawale Akesumbo, and I want to specially welcome you to Accelerating Your Tech Career. And I believe this will be very impactful. For those who are not Luther alumni or Luther students, I want to specially welcome you. My name is Kolawale. I am the founder of Luther Inc. And let's just get right straight into it. Okay, so just a little about myself for those who don't know me yet. I have 14 years experience in software engineering, and I am also the founder of Luther Tech. I have said that like 1,000 times now. A co-founder at Traveled Mass Incorporated. All these companies are both US incorporated, and then also the team lead for a product development studio called Lucrative Tech. So what we basically do at Lucrative Tech is that we take you from ideation to product development. Essentially, in simple English, we build your products, and when we talk about products, we are talking about building your software, mobile application, web application, etc. And what do we do at Luther? So Luther came from the word lucrative anyway, and then it simply is just a tech academy. We aim to train 5 million young Nigerians, create global opportunities for job globally, and then we have already started doing this. As we speak, we have about 15 students learning software engineering as a fellowship program, which means it will run for like 8 months to 10 months or almost 1 year. And then we also have something called Luther Accelerate, which simply means that we train people for a short period of time accelerating tech learning, where students learn from pre-recorded classes and then with live classes happening only weekends on our LMS. And these courses range from front-end development to mobile, to product design. I think it will now be good for me to mention that we are adding 2 new courses to Luther Accelerate. One of them will be available this weekend, and as we speak, if you go on our LMS, one is also already available. Yes, the other one is a combination of classes that talks about in-depth coding, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. And then this is available to everyone for free with nothing. We are not asking for anything in return. That is what we do at Luther. Now let's get right into accelerating your tech career. Okay, so when it comes to tech career, I'm sure you already know that the technological space is a fast moving, if you can call it that word, is a fast pace or fast growing industry, which simply means that what is applicable today is not applicable tomorrow, and innovations are constantly being added. It's always at scale. So innovation is happening at scale globally. Digital products are being innovated. I'm sure you are aware of the Facebook threads that just came out. That's a new digital product. All right. So and I'm also sure that you are also aware of the what they call Web 3.0, which simply emphasizes um, the AI technology. So Web 3.0 is not just about AI, but it's about new ways of doing things, making things more easier. So there is constant innovation in the technological sector, and you don't want to doubt that. And this can come at a peril for anyone in the technological space by means of, it comes at a peril because um, the pace is fast. You have to constantly keep up with the pace, and it becomes difficult. You see, it's inevitable for people to get stagnant, to get stuck in one place, and can't move on in their tech career. And that is why you have come to learn in the. I mean, that is why you are here. Today we are going to be looking at 10 10 steps to accelerate your tech career. 10 easy steps to accelerate your tech career. The number one is that you need to set clear goals. Set clear goals. And I will be making this presentation from a personal experience angle. And I have, by the grace of God, I have interfaced with both new entry and professional in the industry for many years, as far as 14 years. So I've interacted with both, and I've trained in 2020 alone during COVID-19. I trained more than 200 Nigerians, and I have been training people for a long time, even before we incorporated Luther. So I have been privileged to understand the psychology of entry, or the obstacles, or let me use the word obstacles now, the obstacles of entering and progressing in tech industry. So the first thing you need to do if you want to accelerate your tech career is to set clear goals. Now, many people, when they get into tech, or even wherever they are right now in tech, they don't know where they are going. So let me give you an example of setting clear goals. If you are new and you want to begin your journey, just for those who are very new, it is very likely that you start your journey with no code technologies or no code. Let me give you the most simplest of no code tech professions. Maybe graphics design. People say, but graphics, are they in tech? Yes, they are in tech. Okay, so, or maybe uh, product product owner, that's product designer, not product designer, sorry, uh, product owner, that's product manager, not project manager. Project managers are not tech people. Product managers are tech people. So there is a slight difference between product manager and tech, and then project manager. So think of a product manager, for instance. You have started your journey in product management. See, product management is fine. You can stay there forever. But if you feel you want to advance, you might say, okay, if I, after being a product manager for XYZ period, then I will transition to become a product owner, which comes, of course, product owner comes with higher revenue, higher salaries, and more opportunities. And then you go from there to become a data analyst, where some people are starting. So I mean, where you start from, where you are going to, does not have to be fixed. It's not stereotypic, but you can decide exactly how you want that journey to go. So I will give you another instance. So you know that your end goal is to become a DevOps senior engineer, or a senior DevOps engineer, pardon me, and you go ahead and begin to learn Kybernetics. I'm telling you, or Docker. You might be frustrated at the end of the day, or you begin with Jenkins, and this popular one, Jira, and then Trello's of this world, and then or Microsoft Azure. you or AWS itself. You see, yes, you can start from all of these things, all of these professions, all of these titles, but you must have a particular goal in mind, your career journey goal. And of course, your goal must be measurable, achievable, and must be smart. That is simple, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So you know that I want to only be a front end developer for. I'm currently a front end developer, and in another 2 years I'll begin my back end journey, and then that's to become a full stack developer. And another 2 years you'll begin your journey again to become a cloud architecture engineer. You must have a clear goal. The next will be to develop a strong foundation. Now, this is very common, and this is where I'm really passionate, especially if I'm talking to a lot of Luther students. Um, I this is where many professionals, even no, you can't. If you are not rooted, you can't be called a professional, or let me say generalists. So that in the tech space, there are generalists, there are specialists, but I don't want to bog our mind with all of this. But let me just stick to what I'm about saying. So, which is very common for many people to begin their tech journey and begin to switch lane. Imagine if you are driving on the highway, and then you notice there is a you notice that there is especially in traffic. For those who are in Lagos, Nigeria, you see how people switch lane. If I'm driving, I sometimes, when I'm not in a hurry, I stick to one lane, and when people try to enter my lane, I say stay in your lane. I won't allow them. I'll say stay in your lane, because if you don't switch lane, it becomes easier and better for everybody to move faster. But that's not what I'm talking about here. So stay on your lane in the sense that be rooted, develop a strong foundation in a particular skill. So I see a lot of Luther students trying to learn many things at once. I come I came across one of the students who told me that he has seen all the front end video, he has seen all the product design video. For some of us, we have capacity to do many things at once, but my God, if you are learning front end development, you should not be able to have any capacity to handle product design until you are rooted in front end development. For instance, if you are learning product design, there is a lot to learn that anybody can ever teach you. There are endless material on the web that will the more you know. This is one of my favorite quotes. The more you know is the more you know you don't know. The more you learn is the more you know that you know nothing. Now, to stay floated is to learn. To stay floated. So, and learning requires, not just learning now. To accelerate your tech career, you must be rooted. You cannot be a master of none and accelerate in tech. You can never be. I have seen many people who say they are UX designer and they are not UI designers. And there are some people who tell you that I'm UI designer. They are so rooted in UX design that they work on a project for 6 months. Stunning, mind-blowing results by these professionals. And that is what makes you a professional. In my world, I used to say Baba for the web, Baba for the app, Baba for the cloud. There are people you cannot. Have you been on AWS, for instance, and you call yourself a cloud engineer, and you want to tell me you know everything about AWS? Now you're also learning software engineering. My God, I'm sure by now you must have collapsed. You cannot. You have to be. If you want to really accelerate in tech, you have to be rooted. You have to create a strong foundation in one or many things. Now hear me o, in one or many things. So if you want to focus on one thing or you want to focus on many things, you have to be rooted. Okay? That is how to progress in tech. That is how, so that when they are talking about somebody who is a Flutter developer, the first person that will come to their mind is you. When they are talking about a JavaScript developer, the first person that will come to their mind is you. And you have treated that problem. That is why there is specialism. There is specialist in medicine, the field of medicine. You see that there is a generalist. A generalist, when a generalist come, when you visit a generalist, he diagnose you, make recommendation, and further, if your case is serious, he will further, ask you to see a specialist, a neurosurgeon, a gynecologist, a whatever, and then you pay very heavily to see those specialists, and that is how to accelerate. So even the journalist knows that there is baba for something. All right. Okay. Step number three. Step number three is develop soft skill. I have seen many young people in tech that the reason why they are struggling. You see, somebody reached out to me and said, got my number, saw my status, and then reached out to me and said, sir, there is no job in tech anymore. I said, you are very stupid. Pardon me to use that word. There's no job in tech. What do you mean there's no job in tech anymore? He said, I've been a back-end developer for more than 18 months and I have not been able to get a job. So I said, I offer you a job on the spot. No interview, no nothing. So I told him, send me your Git repo, and I offered him a job instantly on the spot from a single phone conversation. And as he joined the team, as he began to work with the team, the first thing I noticed about him is that he lacks professionalism even in communication. So this is somebody who don't know how to manage his emotion. Any small thing, he has started sending messages, raking, ranting. Any small thing, he has started he had muted. He's not talking to anybody again. If we have a challenge with the code he's writing, he will not reach out to anybody. In his case, he can even speak English well, but he lacked interpersonal skill. No soft skill. Learn all these soft skills. That's the truth. That's the way you can accelerate. Learn all these soft skills. That's the truth. Learn leadership skills, because you will end up being in a team that you may manage 2-3 people under you. Maybe at some point you peradventure become a team lead or a product owner. You will definitely have to communicate, manage emotions, manage conflicts. This will tell with whatever organization you are working with. So if everybody have to manage you, you can't manage anybody. You cannot progress. So that's the truth. If everybody have to manage you and you cannot even manage yourself, you can't put yourself under control. Do you know what it means to have power? Power without control is death. So skill without soft skill is stagnation. That's the truth. Skills, that's technical skills without soft skills like communication skill, leadership skill, interpersonal skill, etc. It equals to stagnation. Imagine if you can write all the code in the world and you cannot write a simple sentence that introduces you. My God, you will end up not getting any job. Let me tell some of you that are listening to me, especially for the Luther students, and I've said this like 1,000 times. The skill you learn or the skills you know is not what will get you a job. In fact, in technical job interviews now, they test empathy, they test empathy, they test psychology. They want to know if you are mentally stable, because they know that your job requires a lot of, as I'm talking to you, I've not slept in maybe 2 days stretch. I've been behind the computer, I had interfaced with the screen for a long time. I have been writing, coding, designing, talking, doing all manner of stuff. So they want to know if I'm still sane, if my head is still correct. So they test me. You will be tested using simple. If you go to criteria.com, you will see all of these criterias for testing tech professionals. They want to know. They ask you questions like, what made chicken cross the road? If you are looking for a job, for instance, and you begin to wonder, what does this have to do with a senior software engineer? What concerns me with chicken? I don't even know if a chicken exists at all. They say, my friend, get out of here. You will lose opportunity to stand out if you lack capacity to, if you lack the soft skills. If you lack capacity to learn soft skills, you will lose opportunities, and you will continue to lose opportunities. So if you want to accelerate your tech career, whatever level of soft skills you have, begin to improve on it. That is your only way. Begin to improve on it. So if you know that you lack your temperament is high, you should work on your temperament. So because you are a software engineer does not mean that you lack temperament. You have small issue with your superiors and you've deleted all the code. Who will trust you? I worked with somebody on the team. Yes, also integrity. Integrity is also key. I worked with someone, an external team. My team was working with an external team, and somebody on that team had issue with her own superior, and she deleted all her code. Even it happened in my team. Somebody left our team and deleted all his own APIs on the company's postman. My God, that guy will come to me for recommendation. He's stagnant forever. Speaking of the other person I was talking about, the boss was so angry that he wrote to Google, because the project is also has to do with Google. The boss had to write to Google that yes, this person is certified in that programming language and Flutter development. Kindly see to it that she never gets any job anywhere again by means of whatever Google can do. The boss was so furious that the guy went on the lady's LinkedIn page and began to comment negative comments on every post she had posted. The boss had to hire someone. The boss went as far as, LinkedIn will show your activity. So if you like somebody's page recently, LinkedIn will show it. The boss went as far as wherever she likes someone else's page or comment on someone else's post, the boss will comment on her own comments that this person is highly irresponsible because she blew up a project they've been working on for 6 months because she was angry, and then the boss still took legal action against her. You need the soft skills if you want to accelerate your tech career. Now the next is seek mentorship, and I'll be very fast now because our time is fast spent. Seek mentorship and role models. This can never be emphasized. The tech industry is high pace and it requires a lot to stay relevant. It requires a lot. So you need mentorship on what training to attend, mentorship on Are you even performing mentorship on your goal, mentorship on everything that you do in tech? You need mentorship. I cannot emphasize that enough. Number 5 is, and this is very important, you need to network and collaborate. there is no one there is no one that makes there is no one that is an island of knowledge. And if you must accelerate in any profession, not just even tech, you must network and collaborate. I'm sure you already know that your network is your net worth. There are people who, I mean, just for reference, we had never in 8 years at Lucrative Tech, we had never advertised anywhere. For those who don't even know, we don't even have a website. We have a website though, but if you go on the website, we have nothing on it. It has been like that for 4 5 years. We are working on something. We don't have enough time to even design our own website. So how do we get all the clients that we get? It is by network. We network a lot. We leverage on referral, and I will still talk about that in a minute. So we know the team members or the entire company knows this, that person in the cycle. So every time they really want to do anything in building products, even when other companies are stuck building products for another company, they know that they reach out to the creative tech and will solve the problem. So you will see that we are helping even our competitors. We are collaborating with even our competitors to finish their own projects. Not free, it's for a fee. So the same thing applies to individual. Do you want to accelerate? Do you want to progress? Do you want to move forward? Network. Attend. I'll talk about that in the next time. So network, meet people, collaborate with people, work with people on projects. Let me be ahead of myself. Do pro bonos. You see a friend building a stunning app. Ask your friend, can I work with you on this project? You are stuck on a project. Don't end that project because they say tech. Some people most tech engineers don't complete projects. We complete project too. So you are stuck on projects. Don't keep quiet. Of course, collaborate, reach out to people, network. The next will be, this is very important, practice hard to gain more experience, and that has to be, it also has something to do with collaboration. You see, there is no way you can know a lot in technology, because a lot of tech is enormous. It's colossal. It is enormous, really really large. So how do you accelerate? One of the ways you can accelerate your tech career is remain relevant. Practice. You see new language. There was a time I was sharing with my team that I am currently learning Strapi. I am currently learning there was a new language, the PHP vanilla, I believe it's PHP vanilla, that I'm comparing PHP strawberry to PHP vanilla. My God, that thing took me almost 2 weeks to do the comparison. And what was I doing? I was building projects that never exist. I was building products that I gave myself because I want to practice that new language. And you see, when it comes to tech job or tech profession, you don't you there is let me give you an example. If you are looking for a job online or tech job, you go to LinkedIn. Just try and see what they ask for. So you see somebody saying, maybe we should try, maybe we should do that. So let's go to LinkedIn. Okay. So let's go to LinkedIn. Okay. Sorry. And let's search for a job. And this will give you an insight to what I'm talking about. And just hold on 1 second. So let's search for software software engineering uh, engineering job. It won't give job because my profile is hiring. So let's search for job, and I want to compare this before I go back to my points. So let's start with this. Let's just pick this. Okay, fantastic. And then this person, right? This is exactly what I want to see. Now look at this. It said we are looking for an. I mean, this is what I'm reading. Any range of experience from 0 to 5, meaning if you are very new, you've never done anything, as long as you can demonstrate your knowledge. You can see solid understanding of back end programming. But look at this. Look at the job. Look at the job vacancy. Front end developer. Solid understanding of back end programming languages such as Python, Java, C Sharp, and Ruby or Ruby. Now, this they are looking for front end developer. Familiarity with web application frameworks such as the Django, Spring, ASP.NET. Are you sure these guys are looking for front end developer? Okay, ASP.NET, Ruby on Rails. Now, proficiency in working with database like SQL, NoSQL, MySQL, etc., and designing efficient data models. Okay, I believe they must have mistaken a back-end developer for a web front-end developer. Okay, because most employers don't know what they say sometimes when they post job vacancies. I mean, for non-technical recruiters. Experience with RESTful APIs, this is back-end. RESTful API development and integration, strong understanding of software architecture design principle. Now let's close our eyes to this as if they said back-end, because this person said front-end, but it's back-end. Okay, what does software? This is a whole lot of profession. I mean, this software architecture designer or engineer is a serious profession. So they said you need to still understand. So with all your Ruby on Rails, the Django, Java, Python, Ruby, C Sharp knowledge, SQL, NoSQL, AWS Azure, GCP, what of you, Trello, Jira, Git, SVN, all of this, with all of this ability, RESTful API, all of this ability, you still need to understand. You still need to have strong understanding of software architecture and design principles. And this comes back to exactly what I was saying. So let's look for a similar role. Long story, we are looking for requirements, a similar role. We are looking for Java, Spring, Hibernate, experience with Python, AWS, desired, not must have, Agile. Now, look at this. If all of that, all of the technical skill, they are still requesting for Agile development methodology or Agile development methodology. You see that what you learn, your technical skill is not enough to progress or to get a job. Your technical skill is not. I will say this like 1,000 times. Your job, if you've been to job interviews, for those of you who have been to technical job interviews, you will end up, some of you who just think that you've learned and you don't need to learn the soft skills, you will end up failing woefully, and somebody who knows nothing, who have soft skills, will end up winning. Of course, not necessarily do. Now, strong problem solving skills. Now, problem solving skills requires a lot of knowledge of algorithm, modelings and delights. Ability to work well, this is very important. Ability to work well in a team. Now, let's go back to my slides now. How do you acquire all of these despite the fact that you are new or you are trying to change. And you see, why I showed you this LinkedIn page is because the sector continues to change. So what company A require is a little bit different from what company B requires, even though they are looking for the same technical skill. So they are looking for the same technical skills, but there is an infusion. There is an infusion of different skills in between. And let me tell you the truth. When it comes to tech, you learn by doing. You don't learn by reading, by watching, by sleeping. So the many people see us that we don't go out, we don't do anything. It's because I tell my team, and I say this proudly everywhere, of 18 hours I work daily, I spend at least, so even the days where I work 14 hours, I spend 4 to 6 hours each day deliberately learning. Learning what? Old stuff, new stuff, future stuffs. Practicing. Writing ridiculous codes in PHP, JavaScript for me as a software engineer. PHP, JavaScript, even HTML, CSS. I became baba for CSS because I practice CSS so much that if I wake up, even in my sleep, just put my hand on the computer, I will write my CSS code fine. And you practice hard so that wherever they want to come out to you in your next level in tech, either as a new entry level or you are trying to progress or proceed to another profession, no matter where they shoot the gun at you, you are already safe. So they shoot at you, you are coming from front end or to back end, and then you are trying to get a new job or you are trying to change your organization, and they begin to shoot things to you because you don't know your technical interviewer. Your technical interviewer, depending, could even be a cloud architecture, and it will be sentimental to ask architecture questions to sweep you off your feet. And with a simple 1 or 2 hours that you spend on cloud architecture, you understand UML, you understand algorithm structuring, database modeling, create, alter, all of these interesting stuffs. You understand them because you've been learning and practicing. So point number 6, if you want to accelerate, learn. For those who are Christians, Bible says, study to show thyself approved, workman and then not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So learn, practice. Number 7, stay updated with tech trends, not trend by Facebook, but tech trends. I'm not saying tech by Facebook is bad though. So stay updated. In some cases, the entire basis of your conversation, for instance, I was working in an organization some years back, and one day I was working as an IT support years back, as far back as 2015. And one day, by virtue of whatever, I was called into the management meeting. So somebody in the management meeting is the CTO of a large organization in Nigeria that I don't want to mention. He came visiting. He was a guest to the board, and I was invited to the management meeting because my IT manager is afraid and she's pretending to have a headache. I don't know what is wrong with her, but I knew me to you. I knew she was pretending to have a headache. So she had messed up a lot of stuffs, and she was looking for somebody as a scapegoat. So she pushed me into that meeting, and I got into that meeting, made my presentation with a lot, because it was not me that did the presentation, it was the lady that did the presentation, with a lot of inconsistencies. I must tell you, I can tell you for free, with a lot of inconsistencies in that presentation. But yours sincerely, as the guest CTO with our own IT director, our own CTO, as they began to throw questions at me, I was defending that presentation with technological trend. So every loophole in the slide or in the presentation, I was matching it with possibility by a competitor. Let me give you an instance. So there is a loophole in our product future that the company has spent multi millions financing, and then they shoot question at me that things like, if customers or if visitors, users, do this and this, what will happen going forward? And I began to respond with things like, as a matter of fact, if you look at, I don't want to mention the name of the company, so I mean it's a popular company. If you mention, if you look at this competitor, if you see their products, imagine with it the same in America. What we are trying to build is, we are trying to do this by a global competitor in America. So we are trying to build a global future, and everybody was clapping. I can't forget that presentation. And that day, the MD was wowed, and that was the what led to, after like a week or thereabouts, the lady was fired. I was made acting. About a month after, I was made the IT manager of the company, having over 80 people in my team, because I know Trek 10 trends. You could be having general conversation, but you don't have general conversations with people with codes or talking technological jargons. I stand to pitch for the company in different places, and I don't speak to stakeholders blowing technological jargons. They don't know it, and they don't want to know it, and they are richer than you, they are better than you, they are smarter than you, with all your codes and all your technical know-how. You know Jira, you know AWS, you know Jenkins, you know Kubernetes, you know Ogbeni. You know nothing. I know you know a lot, but you can't flow with the decision makers. My God, you cannot progress. So your technical skill, your soft skill, all of this is not enough. You need to be in the loop. Okay, time is fast spent. Now the next one is showcase your work. I know you might work for an organization that have privacy policy. What about all your side works? What about your practical works? So I remember I was working for an organization, we were building a product I can never share, or else my name is in trouble. But in the same year, I built more than 4 applications that landed me another job without interview. They just asked, who you? In that interview I said, my God, what is your company doing? They said they are into logistics. I said, my God, I built a stunning app for a logistics company. That logistics company never existed. I'm the one that formed it. And I said, download on Play Store. They said, my God, you built this? I said, with my hand. They said, you have the job. So can you build it for us? Okay, guys, I hope, showcase your work. You don't know who is watching. Showcase your work. The LinkedIn, talk. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. So LinkedIn, you are not on LinkedIn and you want to accelerate. You accelerate nowhere. You decelerate. You are a product designer. You are not on what is this called? Dribble. You are not on Dribble. You are not on what's the other one? Somebody should remind me. Dribble. What's the competitor of Dribble? Behance. Thank you. You are not on Behance. You accelerate nowhere. You are decelerating. Showcase your work. Let everybody see you on Behance. Be on Behance. Be on Dribble. Be on LinkedIn. Any other one that be showcase, brag. If you except you don't know me, if you know me and have my number, I will give you a headache for the rest of your life on my WhatsApp status, because I will show you. I will show, as I'm coding, I'm showing you, as I'm designing, I'm showing you, I'm bragging. I'm not showing you everything also because of project people's work. So showcase your work. That's how people will know. I I once got a client for lucrative tech by somebody I met at the airport. She was leaving the country and she asked me, what do I do? I said, I'm a software engineer. She left the country. She came back to the country 2 years ago. 2 years back. She collected my number. She came back to the country 2 years back. She wanted to start a company in Nigeria. And the first person that came to her mind was me. Because all the while when she was in the US, I'm always posting. I have not started selling Ashwebi, or I've not started selling bead or shoe. I'm still a developer. So as she's seen my other activities in life, she's seen me coding. I never even knew she was seeing my status until 2 years after. I said, hi, my name is XYZ, and you remember 2 years ago I met you at the airport? I said, I can't remember. I said, I was the woman that was so airline at so countries. I said, oh my god, how are you? I said, I'm fine. So what can we hear? She said, well, I'm back in the country and we're trying to start this company and we're looking for somebody to help us build products. I said, I'm with the company now, and the company is called Lucrative Tech. Can you kindly? I said, yeah. Can you guys come to my office? We came to the office and she wrote an heavy check on the spot. If she offered me the CTO to the company in VI. I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to. I'm not doing. If I want to move forward, showcase your work, and don't be shy. You are not doing secret codes. Don't be shy when people criticize you. Your design is bad, showcase them. The day that is good. 14 years ago when I started, when I kept one of the website I built 14 years ago, and then if I see that website today, my goodness. But still showcase your work. You that way they build or do horrible stuffs now, making horrible presentations now, making blunders in your design, your development, your everything now, is the same you that will do well later. Now the next, and this is very important, get out of your comfort zone. Get out. Get out. I didn't say step out. All those people that used to tell you step out. Me, I'm not telling you to step out. Get out of your comfort zone. And your comfort zone does not necessarily mean your physical spaces. Your comfort zone could even be your mind. So showcase yourself. Sell yourself. Take the small projects. I said I won't share this, but let me just share it. I once worked last year with, these guys invited me to talk long story. My friend is the CEO of the company, multinational CTO rather. It was all this American guy that owned the company. Of the company, the guy lives in the UK. They flew him to Canada, and then they made him the CTO of the company. The company has a branch in UK. They just started the Canada branch, and the guy said, "Kulali, can you please come and help our life? Come and help my life." I said, "Okay, how do I help you?" And the guy said, "Can you join our team?" I said, "Oh my God, I buy too many things." Now, joining that team means I was going to work extra. I work 18 hours. If you know me, my team begged me to rest. I'm not saying you should not rest too. Don't get me wrong. You know what I told myself? Wait. How much are you going to pay me? The guy said, well, they are going to pay $1,000 per month. I said, God forbid. But after I stepped, because of course, my skill set, my skill level and minimum $4,000, $5,000. Standard earning. And then I said, number one, this job is not comfortable for me. Number two, the pay does not make sense. Number three, how will it rub on my company? Will I now carry your ID card and start mentioning on LinkedIn that I work for XYZ in. So I spoke with the guy. The guy said, no, 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 no. You are just a consultant, a developer consultant, a consulting developer. You don't need to say anything. And it's just 3 months for us to build this product. Please help us. And then that was it. Like, should I tell you the biggest that challenge? The biggest of the challenge is that they held their meeting by 4 p.m. Canadian time. And that was 11 p.m. my time in Nigeria, because I am in Nigeria. And that meeting goes for 4 solid hours each day with all your attention required. That means usually I work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. coding, and then administrative stuff during the day, learning and doing other stuffs. It means with this new tax, I will now work from 11 speaking grammar. And I wish you guys know, I spoke serious Oyinbo, because all the team members, about 21 of them, were Oyinbos. It was just my guy that is a British, and then of course, my God. So I will talk. We'll be talking for 11 to 3 each day. I did that for 3 months, from 11 p.m. I was blown out of my comfort zone. I will still have to run lucrative tech. I still have to run Luther. I still have to run myself. My God, the money was not worth it. But the experience, like I said earlier, collaboration, it was an opportunity for me to sell myself. Till today, everybody on that team is still my friend. My goodness, when we were incorporating Luther in the United States, it was as if we were at home. I could send anyone to anywhere from Canada to the United States. Even it was an opportunity to sell myself at PAL. If you are listening to me, if you want to accelerate your tech career, get out, don't step. If you step, you take one step in one step. No, I don't want to use a foul word now. Get out of your comfort zone. All this I'm tired will never get you accelerated in tech. All this there are days that my back has. I'm not saying you should not be careful of your head, though. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just showing you the sacrifice. My back will be standing like this. My eyes will be rolling like this, and I will still have to stay in. It's daytime for them now, but it's midnight for me. Some of you, your next job is going to be remote. All this jackpot. I'm not saying you're not jackpot. Please don't get me wrong. So you don't necessarily have to. Some of you will have to get a job here in Nigeria and work it in China, and it will be midnight from there, and your team will not be able to even speak English. And say, you don't want K, and the money is not too small. It's just $1,000. It's just $2,000 per month. Or then go and do it. Step out, or even if it's just lucky or whatever. Your team, your leader may be pushing you. I mean, this does not even have to do with getting out of where you currently are. Maybe where you are currently working, you see that they are giving you more tax, and you say, it's past work hour. I hear that a lot from some people. If you do that in my team, I send you out. I will not even allow you to get out. I will get you out. It's past work hour. It's past work hour, you get fired. Which work hour? I'm not saying that you should not. Please don't get me wrong. I hope I'm not sounding violent. Okay, guys. So I will let me calm down a little bit. But I'm just using to emphasize. I am just emphasizing getting out of comfort. Do more. Your boss expect 5. Do 10. Your boss expect 10. Do 15. Be more. Sell yourself. Being more is selling yourself. Okay. Now the last one, because of time, number 10 is seize every growth opportunity. I cannot do it does not exist in my dictionary. There are projects we've taken up at Lucrative Tech, and these projects originally we no fit do am. Some clients are very detailed. They will send you a PD, what's that thing called, PD whatever, that's product development requirements. I have PDR or PRD. If you read some PRD, you will collapse. 300 pages PRD is a challenge. They will specify the language you must use for every. Some will go as far as saying that they want a SAS, that's SaaS, CSS, no bootstrap, no this, no that. I be like or tailwind. They will say tailwind SAS tailwind. I mean, these are just simple languages so that you not get bored. Your boss will walk up to some of you in the office or where you currently work, and they will say, our app is, we have did you see the new feature on our competitors app? Can we do this? I say, sir, you cannot do it. You cannot do what? Everything is possible. It's the new challenge is an opportunity to grow, and it's an opportunity to showcase yourself, and whatever you know it becomes your property forever. And what we do, I hope none of our clients is listening to this right now in Lucrative Tech. We spend, if your project is 6 months and it's a challenge, we spend the first 1 or 2 months learning. Everybody is learning new language. I remember at one time, maybe some years back, when we wanted to switch to Vue for front end. Nobody on the team knew Vue, and the project requirement requires for Vue to be used instead of Laravel. We are experts with Laravel. And then I said, guys, no rushing, no stress. Everybody, go and learn Vue. We'll be teaching each other. So we were circling, teaching each other Vue. Every meeting of that project is we are teaching each other Vue. It's a new challenge. We cannot take Vue away from my head now. We have deployed that project years back. Vue still dey my head. I still know Vue like the palm of my hand. Take up new challenges is an opportunity to grow. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you. Now, I will now give room for opportunity. I will now give room for questions and answer. So, you can begin to shoot your questions at me right now. I will stop sharing my screen for the meantime. So, I like to take questions. Okay, I will now go into the what is it called now? I'll go into the comment section to see if there are questions I can answer directly. Okay. Yes, sir, go ahead. Ask your question. I don't know we have a class. No, that's not a question. This is not a class. Apologies, thought I was only limited. They are looking for full stack. Yes, maybe Behance. Behance, thank you. Behance, thank you. Yes, that's it, thank you. Behance, how do I join self-training? How do you join self-training? Just go on our website and then apply. That's all. Just go on lutherhq.com, go on learn to code and then apply. That's all. That's the first step, and every other thing will follow. So I also check